It wasn't the biggest, the fastest, or the most heavily armored vehicle on the battlefield. It didn't carry the largest cannons or the most troops. But ask any soldier who served in World War II, from the highest-ranking general to the frontline private, and they'll tell you about the one vehicle they couldn't have lived without. A small, rugged, go-anywhere machine that became the very symbol of Allied ingenuity and resilience. This is the story of the Jeep, the vehicle that never stopped. Our story begins in 1940. The world was teetering on the brink of a global conflict, and the U.S. Army knew it needed a new kind of vehicle. The horse cavalry was obsolete, and motorcycles were too vulnerable. They needed something light, fast, and tough enough to handle any terrain a soldier might face. They put out a call to America's automakers with a seemingly impossible list of demands. It had to be a four-wheel drive reconnaissance car, weigh no more than 1,300 pounds, have a wheelbase of less than 75 inches, and be capable of carrying a 600-pound payload. And the most daunting part? They needed a working prototype in just 49 days. Out of 135 companies, only 2 initially responded: the American Bantam Car Company and Willys-Overland. Bantam, a small, struggling automaker, miraculously delivered a prototype, the Bantam reconnaissance car, just in time. The Army was impressed, but they were also skeptical. Could this tiny company actually produce the vehicle in the massive quantities that would be needed for a world war? To ensure they had a reliable supply, the Army made a controversial decision. They gave Bantam's designs to their larger, more established competitors, Willys-Overland and Ford. While this was a tough pill for Bantam to swallow, it ultimately ensured the vehicle's success. Willys-Overland took the core design and made a crucial improvement: their powerful Go Devil engine. This engine gave the vehicle the heart and soul it needed to conquer the battlefield. After rigorous testing, the Willys-Overland design, designated the MB, was selected as the standard. Ford was brought in to help with mass production, building their version under the designation GPW, the W indicating it was built to the Willys pattern. And so, one of the greatest industrial efforts in history began. Between Willys and Ford, over 640,000 of these little workhorses rolled off the assembly lines during the war. They were shipped to every theater of operation, from the scorching deserts of North Africa and the dense jungles of the Pacific to the frozen forests of the Ardennes. The name Jeep itself is a bit of a legend. Some say it came from slurring the initials GP for general purpose. Others believe it was inspired by Eugene the Jeep, a magical, go-anywhere character from the popular Popeye cartoons. Whatever its origin, the name stuck, and it perfectly captured the vehicle's can-do spirit. On the battlefield, the Jeep was a master of all trades. Its primary role was reconnaissance, zipping ahead of the main force to scout enemy positions. Its small size and agility made it a difficult target and allowed it to navigate narrow village streets and treacherous forest trails where larger trucks couldn't go. But that was just the beginning. When equipped with a 30 or 50 caliber machine gun, it became a fast attack vehicle, providing mobile fire support. It served as a command car, ferrying generals like Patton and Eisenhower across the front lines. They laid communication wires, creating the nervous system of the advancing armies. They were converted into field ambulances, strapping stretchers across the hood to evacuate wounded soldiers from the thick of the fight. They were fitted with special wheels to run on railroad tracks, acting as impromptu locomotives. They towed anti-tank guns into position, carried ammunition to the front, and even served as a makeshift altar for chaplains conducting services in the field. There was seemingly nothing the Jeep couldn't do. One war correspondent, Ernie Pyle, famously wrote, "It does everything. It goes everywhere. It's as faithful as a dog, as strong as a mule, and as agile as a goat. It consistently carries twice what it was designed for and still keeps going." This wasn't an exaggeration. The Jeep was a lifeline. It was the tool that enabled the Allied strategy of rapid movement and overwhelming force. It was the symbol of Allied mobility, a stark contrast to the horse-drawn wagon still being used by many Axis forces. For the GI, the Jeep wasn't just a piece of equipment. It was a trusted partner, a reliable friend that would get them through hell and back. When the war finally ended in 1945, the soldiers came home, and so did the Jeep. Willys Overland wisely recognized that the vehicle's usefulness didn't have to end on the battlefield. They quickly pivoted, creating the CJ series, which stood for Civilian Jeep. Marketed to farmers, ranchers, and anyone who needed a tough, reliable vehicle for work, the CJ2A was advertised as the all-around farm workhorse. It could plow fields, power saws, and of course traverse any terrain on the property. The Jeep had successfully transitioned from a weapon of war to a tool of peace. It became an integral part of America's post-war landscape, helping to build the nation it had just fought to defend. But its influence didn't stop there. Over the decades, the Jeep evolved. It spawned new models like the family-friendly Wagoneer, often credited as the first luxury SUV, and the rugged Cherokee. Yet it always retained the DNA of its military ancestor: the 7-slot grille, the round headlights, and the promise of freedom and adventure. The Jeep became more than just a car. It became a cultural icon. It appeared in countless movies and TV shows from Miyagi to Jurassic Park, always representing toughness and the ability to get the job done. It became the vehicle of choice for off-road enthusiasts, adventurers, and anyone who wanted to escape the pavement and explore the great outdoors. The act of owning a Jeep became an entry into a community, a tribe of people who shared a love for exploration and a spirit of resilience. Today, the legacy of that original Willys MB lives on in every Jeep that rolls off the production line. From the modern Wrangler, its most direct descendant, to the entire range of SUVs, the brand continues to embody the principles of capability, versatility, and freedom. It started as a simple answer to a complex military problem, a 300-pound vehicle designed in just 49 days. But it grew to become a legend, a vehicle that helped win a war, rebuild a nation, and define a culture of adventure that continues to inspire people all over the world. It truly is the vehicle that never stopped. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this journey into automotive history, please give this video a like, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more stories like this. We'd love to have you along for the ride. See you in the next one.